talk about grief, addictions, emotions. Hmm. That can get you in your feelings. Thank you, Aaron, for the rags. Thank you, Jason, for helping me clean my guts. Thank you to my family. Thank you to my friends. Thank you for all the love that you guys have sent. Hey, girl. You know, I'm sure everybody has a story. Hello, beautiful. You got me citrine today. Citrine helps me when I'm in my feelings. How you guys feeling? I know the world feels so crazy. Everything's going on so fast. Just in my little area, we've been going through more death than a little bit. I know everybody has a different way to process this. Hello, love. You know, I've been going to funerals since I was a little itty bitty kid. Can you hear me? Let me see. Let me turn this down. No, that's important. Can you hear me better? I lost my earphone. Hello, Scotty. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me better? I'll talk louder if I have to. I lost my earphone. Maybe I'll have to go get my other earphones. Can you hear me better? So guys, I've been going to funerals since I was little, and you know, as a little kid, I didn't understand funerals. Um, you know, the person was dead in the casket, and that disturbed me. Um, everyone was so sad, and that disturbed me. Going to see grave sites, that disturbed me. The death days, you know, when you go to a lot of funerals and you know a lot of people that die, that makes for a lot of like death days. Like, oh, this is the day that so and so died, and I was like conjobbled all around. Hey girls, if you're gonna play, just stay downstairs, Kay. So, you know, if you guys know, I just lost a really great friend of mine. You know, I was sad, but I did it different. I processed it very, very different. You know, um, one of the biggest, most memorable deaths that I had was my cousin, and I just shared a video the other day that I had done years ago about addiction and everybody's addicted. And so I'm putting all of that together in this video, right? And so, you know, I lost my cousin. It was great. He saved everyone. But he had a son and a wife, right? And that was hard. I had my brothers and sisters, but when I went home, their life wasn't complete, right? He was my best friend. You know, his sister lost a brother. His mother lost a son. And this is hard, guys, right? And so it just so happened that right before I left him, I introduced him to one of my best friends, right? And so I thought, okay, how great, right? I didn't know how to process death, right? I just did whatever I was programmed to do, whatever I was taught to do. If you see where I'm going, you can get a hold of me later. I really want to talk to you. So I had a great day, so I feel lost. For sure. I have a busy day, Scott, but just message me, you know. You're my brother, man. Saddest days of my life. I lost my grandchild recently, and that's why I have his pic as a profile to carry with me always. I'm sending so much love, you know. I'm sending so much love. I know. And you know, it's crazy how, you know, healing comes in waves, because I didn't really imagine that my girlfriend passing away was gonna help me process things that I hadn't processed yet, right? And so that's the thing about these guts, guys, right? So we just store things in our guts, and we're like, oh, I gotta keep these, and I'm gonna process them later. And it takes something else to come up to give you the opportunity to process, right? So my best friend met my cousin, and so then not very long thereafter, I lost my best friend. He had a mom, he had a sister, he had a daughter, he had friends, right? Oh, I was like the lowest that I felt like I could ever be in my life. Like, why in the fuck does God keep plucking people out of my life, right? But I didn't understand it, right? And so, these deaths, I was old enough. This is where I was like, older, and I would smoke a lot of weed. I would work a lot. I kept picking up extra shifts. If anybody called off work, I picked up extra shifts. I kept myself busy. I didn't want to be in the family things because it was different. So I just made up that I had to work. Well, I didn't make it up. I really signed up to work. Um, so I smoked a lot of weed. I worked a lot. I stayed super busy. So I felt the sadness, like every time I would think about them, I would like touch down into this place of sadness, and I'm like, no, I can't feel that. I gotta get busy. Nobody has time for this, right? And a lot of people message me and say, Sarah, why do you do so much healing? Some of my great friends are like, you're addicted to healing, like I'm addicted to tennis shoes, and I'm like, yeah, and I talked to my mentor, Dr. Hazone, a couple months ago, and I raised my hand in the class, and I'm like, I think I'm addicted to healing. And he's like, no, Sarah, you're addicted to your nervous system being cleaned out. You're addicted to clearing out these old things. And so I love him even more today than I did in 2007 when he changed my life. So, from my best friend dying, then a couple years later, his sister died. Same mom, she lost both of her kids. She had a daughter. She had friends, right? And it was like lingering over me, right? That, you always think about what you could have done, what you should have done, what you would have done if you would have known that this was your last time with these people, right? It sucks, guys. Now I know what is losing me. Yeah, I hit the gym, keeping myself really active and positive vibes. And love, I would never say that, like, I don't know, I've been practicing the last 3 years to try to be still, right? And it's work. I was just talking to a girlfriend that I used to work with today. She's like, you really have to train yourself. And I was like, yeah, you really do. Um, Everybody's journey is like a little bit different. Um, but the whole thing is, and what I want to hit on this is if you don't feel positive about what you're going through, that's okay too, right? So, in this, addiction came up for me. So many people are addicted. That was my video. Like, every single one of us is addicted. Either it's addicted to positive vibes. I got on that for a long time. It's either, addicted to working, addicted to being busy, addicted to addiction is anything where we're being outside of ourselves instead of inside of ourselves. Because inside is where the real work happens, and that's some scary shit, right? So addictions normally cover up the pain that we have. Addictions, that's when you have addictions to things, there's so much that you're holding in. And it feels too deep. It feels like you can't explain it. It feels like you can't talk about it. My thing with people passing away is like, I was worried about everybody else. I was addicted to making sure everybody else was okay, right? I was addicted to running from my feelings. That's why I did it. That's why I smoked weed. That's why I worked. That's why I stayed so busy. And I have to tell you guys, like, there's hope, because this death that I just went through, I was completely different. I didn't smoke a single drip of weed. I didn't keep myself busy. When I was sad, I laid down. I cried. My baby said, what's wrong? I just lost one of my friends, and she's in heaven. And she's like, well, she's with my brother. Yes, I lost a baby, right? And I didn't realize that her dying was going to bring up like feelings of me losing a baby. All I kept thinking about was her kids. Like, she had a 6-year-old and a 13-year-old. Her 6-year-old daughter found her. My heart just like breaks, because all we're doing is just adding trauma to the trauma, right? And my friend loved being a mom. Like, she would have never wanted her daughter to have to go through that, right? a lot of times in addictions, we don't feel like there's a way out of the way we're doing it. Like, we're addicted to the patterns, we're addicted to the sadness, we're addicted to not letting ourselves feel ourselves. And that's what I'm learning is so important. You know, when she died, when I got the call that she died, I cried, and then I went into my inner child because that's something that I've been practicing. It's something that I worked with Angela for a couple years on it, and now by myself, I've been making a point in my journal to go every day, everything, good days and bad days, and connect with her and say, how are you feeling? How did you feel about that? How did you feel about this? And I always did a channeled writing, and so now I do channeled writing with her, and it's really cool because when I was going through this at the beginning with my girlfriend, she was telling me how she felt very confused. And that's how I felt. I felt confused. I felt confused about who do you help? Who needs the most help? Where do you go? How do you divvy up this time? How am I going to keep all these death dates in my mind? How do you keep going for the kids? How do you keep helping when you don't really know all the people, right? And so through talking to my inner child, she was like talking to me about how many people I've lost through addiction. She knows. She's been there the whole time with me, right? So, in your guts is where we stuff the grief. In your guts is where the addiction is. In your guts is where the emotions and the feelings are. In your guts is where the money is. In your guts is where the sex is. In your guts is where the inner child is. This is where we're afraid to go. This is what people that talk to me think it's like some woo-woo thing. I talked to a great friend of mine. She does inner child healing with everybody. And I just made sure that I messaged her, like, keep going. It's her birthday. But I was like, keep going because what you're doing is so important, right? Oh, maybe that's me because I have my thing on. Can you hear me better? Give me some hearts if you can hear me better. I hope you can. It's just damn. I lost my earphone. So, in my little area here, since 2001, I've lost over 200 people to addiction. It's been hard. It's been very hard. In 2001, the heroin rolled out and it just never stopped. It's people that you would never expect. It's people, it's crazy. It's crazy. And then now, here we are in 2021, so this has been 20 years of losing people to heroin, right? Fentanyl, whatever they're putting in the things, right? And now, what we have, what I see, what hurts my heart, is we have all these mothers and fathers that don't have kids, right? We have all these kids that don't have parents. Maybe their grandparents are raising them or their family is raising them, right? We have so much sadness and we have so many feelings. We have people that have been trying to help. We have been, we have groups. We have all of these different things. And so I keep going to the groups and I keep saying it's inner child healing. We need to heal our inner child. We really all need to heal our inner child. So if addiction has affected your life, whether you were addicted or somebody else was addicted, we're all addicted. But a lot of people think if they don't do drugs that they're not addicted. And so if you've had somebody in your life and they were addicted and you lost them to that, heal your inner child, please. I found my place of solidarity and I still think that I push myself 10 minutes. Yes. I love you. I love you. People don't understand. Like, there are addictions to drugs. There are addictions to driving too fast when you're in the car. There are addictions to food. There are addictions to patterns. Like, each and every single one of us is addicted. And so, if you're losing people that are addicted, I really feel like that's God showing you that you need to clean that addiction up out of you. Most of us are addicted to the patterns. All of us. addicted to numbing the pain. I had somebody respond to my post whenever I talked about losing my girlfriend, and I don't even know the girl, right? And she got on my post and she's like, well, maybe if you never heard about it, you need to study quantum physics. Energy never dies, it just transitions, moves or whatever. That's my belief. Well, little did she know that I actually took a class for 5 years on quantum physics, which did help me with my cousin's death. It helped me to understand that he was here just in a different form, right? And luckily, she said that to me, and I really hope that she doesn't say that to other people, right? Because that's like a way of saying, like, don't feel that, don't grieve that. Like, so many people don't want to see us be sad. And what happened to me the other day, it's crazy how God works, and I just love this. Here I am going through this. My niece lost her father to addiction. She's 6. She was 7 months old. She doesn't even remember, right? All she knows is the pictures that we show her and the stories that we tell, right? And so this full moon churned up a lot of stuff for a lot of people, right? And so here's my little niece, and she waited for everything to be done for the whole day, and she had stuff that she wanted to take to her dad's grave. And so her and my daughter were arguing about something really silly, and she just broke down and cried. And she was like, Roa, I just miss my dad so much. And that lady who responded to my post about she's not really dead, study quantum physics, blah, 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 that lady helped me, because when my niece cried, I just held her and I cried with her. And I told her, it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel all these feelings. It's okay that sometimes it goes away and sometimes it comes back up. You can call me anytime that you want to cry. You can tell your mom anytime that you want to cry. We still have people that are actively addicted to drugs all around us. And, of course I talked to my sisters about this. We all lost people to drugs. And so one of the things I said was, just let's focus more on not being mean. Let's focus more on our response to these people. These people are hurting. We never know when we're going to see them again. We never know. Let's do what we can do with compassion. Hugs to her. It's okay to cry. It is okay to cry. And that's really hard. As a 6-year-old, like, I never knew my dad whenever I was little. But I couldn't imagine knowing that I would never know him. I always grew up thinking in my mind that one day I was going to meet my dad and everything would work out. Here she is, 6 years old, and she just knows that he's in heaven. I saw that and I get you. Someone just told me it was my cat's fate to be murdered. An attempt to comfort me. Get the fuck out of here with that BS. Yeah, and I actually had somebody message me. I didn't share this one, and she said that it's better off for all addicts to die. And so it's better for the world. So I went and looked at her page, and she had like a wooden cross as her like main screen, or like whatever you call it. And like she had all these like Christian, like biblical posts. And so I just messaged back to her and I was like, was God telling you to say that? Because I seriously hope you choke on something. Like, today is not my day, right? And so that's what I mean. It's like every single thing that happens to us gets us deeper. Like, I'm sorry about your cat. And that's the thing. Like, grieving people, grieving pets, grieving old jobs, grieving old homes, like, this is real stuff out here. And so anybody that just tells you that, it was their time, or, they're always with you, and I'm guilty. I would always tell people they're always with you, because in my process of learning, that's what I learned, is that they are really always with you, right? But I'm missing the part where they have to grieve that. They have to feel that. They just want to feel that, right? And so this is going to make me better at that. This is going to make me understand, like, I'm here with you and it hurts and I know, right? I know. You know, I know. I get the people that are addicted because I was addicted to numbing my pain too. Um, you know, I'm so glad for Jason Mangan because for 7 months I've been cleaning out my guts, right? And that doesn't mean that your lessons stop coming to you. No, couldn't be further from the truth. I think that they might even come in a little bit faster and a little bit stronger and a little bit harder, right? But I'm so thankful because we had a lot of things going on with work, and he is really who he is just through and through, right? We had all these things going on, and then all of a sudden I had to like call off. I had to cancel all my appointments for the whole weekend because I knew that I wasn't in the right vibration, right? And he just sent me love, right? He is the one that brought Purium into my life. And the one thing that I did different this time was I kept cleaning out my guts. So through this whole process of me grieving, I laid around. I didn't do very much. I ordered out. I didn't cook very much, but I kept cleaning out my guts. I kept receiving the love that was sent to me, and I kept cleaning out my guts. Those are two big, huge things that normally when I'm grieving, I don't do. Oh my God, Rod's fucking in with the COVID lockdown, etc. But we are the frontline workers. And court of call really has to guide others to respond. It's hard, negative, but I give so much love to them. As they get, what is happening. Yeah, there is a lot going on. There really is a lot going on, and I'm telling you guys, cleaning out my guts, it's cleaning up this mental confusion, and that's one of the things that my inner child said to me, is that she likes the way my belly feels. She likes the way that I don't feel nervous anymore. I used to be a very nervous person. I used to be very nervous. I used to be very confused. And, I couldn't keep up with these death days, like these. And it was so funny because I was just talking to a great girlfriend of mine the other day, and she was going through one of these death days, right? I didn't know what to call it. And she said that one day in her mind that she was like, hold on a minute, this is a heavenly birthday. So like our birthday is the day we come to earth, right? And then like our heavenly birthday is the day that we go back to heaven. And I'm like, yes, I love the way that sounds, right? And so in my old mental confusion, not letting love in, not eating right, not taking time for myself to rest and cry and process things, right? My inner child was a mess. And so people would start talking about death, and I would literally just walk out the door. I wouldn't even say that. Now I'm more present for the people that are calling me that want to talk. I have better advice, hey, I'll cry with you. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. And the path to healing, I know it's hard. But, instead of trying to fix the pain in people, how about we just love them? Love them how they are. Send love to their families. Send love to their kids. When you send love, it works. It really does work. And until you're ready to connect with them from the other side, I'm not even going to get into that, right? You can send love. You can. Hey, True! Can you not scream? I've been letting people cry. I've been encouraging them to eat living foods, eat raw foods. We can't change the world outside of us, but we can change the world inside of us. And so, through this grieving process, I felt a lot of peace. And that's all I ever really wanted. People are going to die. It's going to hurt. Sadness is going to creep in. But if you feel peace, then that's what it's about, right? Peaceful isn't getting up and picking up extra shifts. Peaceful isn't smoking so much weed until you, oh shit, it's the next day, and the next day, and the next month, and 10 years later, right? Peaceful muscle isn't staying so busy that you forget how much it hurts, right? It's okay to give yourself some time off. You know, I never took time off work when I lost people. People would say, oh, you have the, you know, the days for bereavement. I'm like, no, I don't want that. I just want to come to work. I did it. I did it all the time. Take time. That's why they give it to you, right? A lot of people have a hard time being with themselves, guys. By taking my superfoods through this, like, I really started to see synchronicities all around me, like, right at the time, you know? My mom worked with her. Her and I got to cry it out. Her friends had called me. They cried it out. Some of my friends moved far away. We cried it out, right? Then my area just had somebody else just pass away. Hey girls, can you go downstairs? I'm trying to do a video. You know, one thing that I do in my area whenever people die is I give out energy work. A lot of people don't know what it is, so it's really weird, but I'm like, hey, lay on my table, and if I don't have my table, I'm like, hey, lay on the floor. Let me just do something real quick to bring you some peace, right? I encourage people to talk to God and their angels. You know, when this all happened, when I learned about it, I don't even remember if it was Friday morning. It had to have been Friday morning, because then Saturday I went with my sisters, but I screamed out to God, like, what is this? What is this? That my last message with this girl was, please help me heal. And then boom, there's no time left. Right? That's like the third time that this has happened to me since the coronavirus started. The third time that somebody asked me to help them heal, and then we ran out of time. That's really hard. You know, I encourage everyone to really try to heal their inner child. Before 17 hurts, helps. Angelina White helps. Carrie Spina helps. You gotta try. It's different than our programming. Our inner child needs us, and the way that you get to that place, the way you get in there, is different than what the programming tells us. So when I talk about inner child healing to people, they don't think it's very real because it doesn't go with the program. It's not common. But I'm telling you that it's linked to all this. It's linked to the emotion. It's linked to the emotions. It's linked to the feelings. It's linked to the darkness, the shadows of you. This is the 528 because I was 528. They do inner child healing, and obviously they're really different. But I love them. They changed my life. I wouldn't be so good at my work if I didn't do inner child healing. I wouldn't have been able to rest and take this time for myself and love on me and love on my baby if I didn't do this inner child healing. If I didn't do this inner child healing, I would have lost my mind and my family. Yeah, everybody is so quick to just have a response, you know? Why not just send love? If you don't know what to say, just send love. You know, so many people are going through grief and addiction all across the world. You know, my grandma was in Ireland, and heroin is even there. Heroin, fentanyl. You know, and it doesn't even make sense. You try to make sense of it. Like, why would a drug dealer put fentanyl in something that they're selling to kill their profit? I mean, I don't even know. Like, it doesn't make sense, you know? I don't sell drugs, so I don't understand. But, like, I know that I wouldn't want to be working with you and you to die, you know, because then there goes that, right? I mean, it just doesn't even make sense. Can you turn that down, sis? And this time, this COVID, the vaccinations, the lockdowns, they shut my license down for 5 months. It's a scary time. It's weird. A lot of people are falling into all kind of things. Heal your inner child. For real. For real. For real. Because everything that you're feeling right now as an adult human, heal your inner child, heal your guts, heal the patterns, right? Because everything that you're feeling and everything that you're repeating, those are patterns from when you were a child. Those are patterns of how your inner child used to react. Does that make sense to anybody? It takes investing in yourself. I've had to invest in myself in big ways. I remember when investing $25 into myself was really hard in 2007 at the beginning of my journey. It was really hard for me to invest $25 into my healing. And now here I am. My superfood orders are like $300 a month. I just ordered some boo for it was like $110 for a little bag. Guys, do what you can with what you have. If you don't have enough, let people know. A lot of people are working with people and really helping. I know that this is a hard time. We gotta heal. We gotta heal these old things. We gotta get our power back. So, your eye gates and your ear gates, that's something that I changed in 2001. What do you let your eyes watch? What are the words that you let come in your ears? And that's been a process since 2007, right? And it's ever changing. And I'm always, first it was the news. Second, it was the radio. And then it just keeps on, keeps on, keeps on. Now, I don't even want to have no bitchin' ass friend. If I have a bitchin' ass friend, I'm like, okay, you bitch 5 times, I'm over it, right? I'm done with it. I'm done with the negative talk about your life. And, we have all the power within us to change our lives. We don't care about the customers. There is an unlimited supply of prospective customers dying for their product. Yeah. I guess you're right. They really don't care. They really don't care. I mean, there was just a massive shooting here the other day, and I saw these guys from another state, and I don't know. I spent so much time on self-love that I can't see how people aren't, especially after this last year. I don't know. And I try to go back to the beginning and remember, who I was, and so I can have some kind of understanding of what people are feeling like, I don't know, all of it, money issues, that's inner child, sex space, 417, feelings issues, emotional issues, grief, processing, addiction, all of that comes from that space. It's crazy, our energy bodies are loud. They're channels, and so we all have these rainbows that we're made up of, right? And so, depending on what we go through, some of the colors in our rainbows might be a little bit dull, right? Because of something that we went through. And so what my work helps to do, I do spinal network analysis, right? I help to clear out the nervous system. And so I don't know what, I just listen to what the body's telling me to do. The body tells me which layer needs to come off. I have no idea about the whole entire process. But what happens is it exposes a layer to let you get into yourself. I help people release things from their nervous system. So when I work on people, a lot of times, not right away. They're not oh yes, right away, right? It takes time for them later to be oh my gosh, I went through so much shit. I had this rash on my body. I was coughing. I cussed everybody out. I slept for 3 days, right? But then I did this and this and this and this and I'm feeling myself, right? And I tell them I know. Because that's what I've been doing since 2007. Since 2007, I've been getting my nervous system worked on. and learning. And then you learn something and you like it or don't like it, right? It's crazy. And I know that the drug dealers can't be happy because the energy that you give out is the energy that is around you. So, if you're out here killing people, you got that killer energy running behind you all the time. That's their shit to deal with. If they want to heal their nervous systems, I'm here for them. If they want to learn about vibrational alignment, I got them. If they want to clean out their guts, I'm here for them. Anything else, I just stay in my lane. I just stay in my lane, you know? I never realized. I remember in like 2007 when everybody thought I was like super crazy. I'm like, why did I learn all this? Like, everybody thinks I'm crazy, right? And then this past year is I'm like, oh, this is why I learned all this. And I still don't really know. I still don't really know how to talk to people like, you are whole. I see you as whole. I was trained to see you as whole. But the way I see you and the way you feel, a lot of times is going to be different. A lot of people don't feel whole when they're dealing with patterns from the root, when they're dealing with feelings, when they're dealing with their personal power, when they're dealing with the give and receive of love, when they're dealing with when to talk and when not to talk, when they're dealing with visions affected by your guts, your connection with God, your connection with God connected to your root. It's confusing. It's not something that you just like pay $100 for and it's all straightened up. That's not how my work works. I've been getting network since 2007 and it's 2021. And I still get it. And I love it. And through that process, so many things have changed in my life. If you knew me in 2007 and you know me now, you know. If you only have just seen me since I've been doing my videos, then you know a little bit, right? Healing is a journey. And these patterns run deep in us. The patterns of everything. And every day we have a chance to start new. And my advice to everybody is clean up your guts, because that's in the physical. And I knew it, and I didn't know any way to help people with that, but I actually found something that works. It really does clean out your guts. And people say, well, how do you know it's working? Because of the mental clarity that I have. How I'm able to multitask and keep it all together. How I'm able to connect with my inner child. How I'm able to be present in almost every now moment. I mean, sometimes I'm a daydreamer, so sometimes I'll be dreaming, right? But for the most part, I'm present. I did that boo on my face. Can you guys see? I had this like little pimple that was like under my skin for a long time, and I couldn't get it out, right? And I did that boo, and it just like popped, but it's all flat on the underneath. Healing ain't easy. Healing ain't pretty. It's not, you do get excited, but it's not exciting. It's not exciting to go into your fears. You're not like, yes! When I would do my inner child healing with Angela, before she would call me, my armpits would be sweating, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, And, if you guys know Angela, she always tells people whatever is on the surface, it's because there's something down deep. And I think that that's what has helped me so much, is to learn that, like, everything that I see with my physical eyes, everything I go through in my physical body, I know that inside of me deep, there's something that's connected to. And that makes sense, because I do polarity work. I do cranial sacral work, right? Polarity. It does. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I know a lot of people are afraid of death or losing someone. I know a lot of people are afraid of addiction, losing someone. I know a lot of people are afraid to feel. thinking that if they feel they'll lose it, afraid to be emotional because they have to be strong, afraid to talk about sex, afraid to talk about money. I just reached out to a great friend of mine the other day, and I'm like, he's a financial advisor, and I'm like, all right, I need financial advice. Super curious. I swear did that for me. And he was like, and so we had a meeting about it. And I was nervous. I was going to be so strong, like I had everything together, right? He was cracking up. He's like, why didn't you tell me this sooner? I'm like, I don't know. Money's hard to talk about. Money's hard to talk about. Sex is hard to talk about. Grief is hard to talk about. Addiction is hard to talk about. Feelings are hard to talk about. And then, like, where you are actually versus, like, where you want to be, that's hard to talk about. I know. I get it. How you release through healing is hard to talk about. I know. And sometimes you just feel like you get so deep that there's nowhere out, but there is a way out, and it's going in. We have to go in. We have to support each other to go in. We have to promote each other to go in. I cheer people on to go in. I love you guys because we're all connected. I took a couple days off work, but then I took some time to get creative. That's another thing. Like, through grief and the hurt and the pain, a lot of us lose our creativity. That's why I'm so excited that I'm cleaning up my decks. Because I got a little creative in my stuff. Talked to one of my creators, and we created together. People do need other people. Somebody posted about that yesterday. You are all alone out here, like it's just you. And how this person needed other people. And I let her know immediately, like, yeah, I need other people too. We do. We came here to connect and build and grow with each other. But this anger and pain and hurt and loss and abandon and afraid and trauma and these patterns, that keeps us away from everybody. That doesn't let us connect to everybody. And that's what we're needing. We're needing to come together, have kindness and compassion for each other, care about each other, and help each other. We're all going through the same thing, guys. We're all going through the same things. If you are going through grief or addiction right now, and you can't do anything right now, turn on the 417 Solfegra frequency. That'll help you. Stretch your body. Get some citrine. Play with an orange marker or crayon. There's a lot of things that you can do with wherever you are. For real. Get a massage. Get some body work. Get some reflexology. Get some inner child healing. Clean out your guts. My friends that go out, they spend hundreds of dollars going out. And they say I'm crazy because I spend hundreds of dollars on secret dates that last me for a long time. And I tell them, I remember when I used to go out and spend the exact amount of money that I spent on superfoods on drinks. And then I wake up feeling terrible. At least on my superfoods, I wake up feeling good. I've never once felt like I wasted my money for inner child healing. I've never once felt like I wasted my money on body work. I've never once felt like I wasted my money on healing. Never. Ever. And if that ever came up, that was something in my mind. It was just like this fear that I'm not abundant, right? I love you guys because we're all connected. I don't want anyone getting hurt. Please don't do that. Oh, I gotta go get my niece. I'm chewing like this later. I got these peppers from the local market. So I'm gonna stuff them with some quinoa. I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna put in there. Maybe some mushrooms. Maybe some quinoa. All right, True. That's enough. I am gonna listen to your conversation if I hear you hollering. If you girls don't want to be nice to each other, then don't play. Well, like I said, it's okay. Well, I gotta go handle this little girl fight. I love you guys because we're all connected. I really do. If you want any information about cleaning your guts, let me know. If you want any information about what I did for inner child healing, let me know. If you just want to have a conversation, I'm here for it. I love connecting to all of you. I love you guys so much. I know that the grief is so deep. I know that the addiction is so deep. I know. And this is how we're going to heal. By promoting the things that we've tried that work for us. And sharing it. That's how we heal. That's how we help heal each other. You know, I'm here to lift the vibration of the planet. And what better way to lift the vibration of the planet than to clear all the old crap out of your nervous system and fill you up with living food. And I love you so much too, Crystal. You know, but it's up to you guys. You know, you have to make the investment into self. And I know that, and I honor you. And if you don't have it right now, I love you still, right? But, you know, it's some inner child work to figure out why your money's off. Because it's all in there. It's all in there. Or message me and let me know that your money's off, and I'll work with you, and I'll give you an energy session at a discounted rate to try to help. I really want to help. You know, I don't do healing for the money. I do healing because I remember what it's like to hurt, and now I know what it's like to feel free from that hurt. And anybody can do it. It just takes work, you know, time, patience, all that jazz. I love you guys because we're all connected. If anybody's hurt you, I send you so much love. I really do, because I know it's a lot. I know that it's a lot of people.